Hello everyone, Praise Good here, and welcome back to more of Tears of the Kingdom. For a change of pace, I'm actually caught up in editing, so I know this is actually the start of a video. I'm breaking the fourth wall, don't worry, I'm ruining everything, I'm well aware. Anyway, I'm actually starting off this episode, and this recording session, at a stable, because I said I was going to start scanning amiibo at either at the beginning or end of sessions, and I'm going to start here. And I'm also going to start scanning Legend of Zelda amiibo. Now, I believe from what I can tell just from what we had back in like episode 4 with amiibo scanning, if you scan amiibo that aren't related to Legend of Zelda, I believe you just get a small batch of random materials that are mainly used for cooking, or the rare occasion of something that's good for upgrading your weaponry and whatnot. Not weaponry, excuse me, upgrading your armors down the road, which we'll get to in due time. But the Legend of Zelda amiibo have much more robust, we'll say, rewards. So let's go ahead and get those started. Now, I'm near stable because one of the rewards can possibly be a horse, just straight up. Speaking of, Horse Rider Link amiibo. Alright. It is not that. Now, something I should show. Let me do this actually with, do I have a weapon that's not fused? Just the I'm actually going to do it with this. So, I'm going to show what this does later. But, Hylian shrooms, when fused to weapons, actually provide a knockback or a bouncing property to them. Anyway. Outside of all the items that drop from an amiibo scan like normally, the Legend of Zelda amiibo also drop treasure chests. Sometimes they can be weapons, which I'm going to go ahead and just leave. Sometimes they can drop weapons. Sometimes they can drop something much more valuable. Oops. I meant to pull out the amiibo functionality. Now, let's try the Bokoblin amiibo, which is a lot of meat. Now, something I will mention, because this is related to when I did Breath of the Wild. I made like a bonus video at the very end of this, like way after the series ended. But something I'll mention with Breath of the Wild, ooh, hey, that'll be very useful later on. I was actually hoping to get something else, but these fabrics you're gonna get here, I'm gonna break my train of thought. I'll come back to it in a minute. If you get a fabric like this out in the world beyond a quest, we will get probably, I'm gonna say, 30 to 40 episodes from now. I'm probably wrong on that mark, and I hope I'm wrong on that mark, based on what steps I've taken at this point to prep myself for the underground exploration we're going to do. But fabrics will be used in a side quest we'll get later. But if you do get any through other means other than that side quest, the fabrics will still function the same. But I mentioned this about all the meat that dropped. I'm mentioning all the meat that dropped with the Bokoblin amiibo. This oddly enough reflects upon the Wolf Link amiibo, because the Wolf Link amiibo, when summoned in Breath of the Wild, provides a companion Wolf Link to fight alongside you, and that companion's health, that Wolf Link's health, will reflect depending upon how far you are in Twilight Princess. And most specifically, the newly added Trials of the Wolf, or whatever that Cave of Ordeals was in Twilight Princess, that was designed specifically for the Wolf Link. But in Tears of the Kingdom, scanning the Wolf Link amiibo just drops a lot of meat. And I mean a lot of meat. I mean, you saw what dropped with the Bokoblin. Double that. It's kind of grim when you think about it. Anyway. Now, I'm going a little off rails here because we need our triad of characters. And anybody who's seen the trailer for this game knows this one's not a surprise. But Ganondorf. This is the Smash Brothers variant of Ganondorf. There, at the time of recording the Tears of the Kingdom variant of Ganondorf is not out yet, and even then, I don't think I'm going to use it. So, yeah. Now we have the Breath of the Wild set of version of Zelda. I will say, like, oh, hey, Swift Carrot, nice. If I will, just for scanning these amiibo, like, I'm only gonna scan 5 amiibo, like I did with Breath of the Wild, just keep it roughly the same. But I will stick with these 5 amiibo that I'm going to be using now, which, by the way, Archer link for Breath of the Wild. I'm going to try and stick with these same 5 amiibo, but the items that drop from the amiibo are somewhat random. Not only from, like, these fish and meats and everything that drop from the sky, but also the treasure chests. And I mentioned the... Ooh! Well, that's an ancient blade. We'll get more... We'll actually... This kind of rips the band-aid off of that, and I'll talk about this when we're moving over. We can actually get a lot more of those... Okay, this is probably the better spot to go. We can get a lot more of those ancient blades as we go throughout the story here. Or as we go throughout the game. But that is basically the item that you want to fuse. I believe it counts as a Zonai device. So if you want to pair it with a Zonai weapon, probably the best best use of it. But that's probably the strongest fusing item you can get in the game. It is also one of the rarest items you can get in this game, outside of one-time drops like armor and something else that I can't describe very clearly without ruining it. But anyway, back to that point. Amiibo have a random chance to drop something spectacular when they do drop it. For the most part, it's going to be fabrics from anything that's Legend of Zelda amiibo. So if you're out here thinking, oh, you can get special gear by scanning a certain amiibo and whatnot, or you can get like special amiibo gear. I said this before, but I'm going to reiterate that all the gear that came specifically from amiibo in Breath of the Wild, all the gear is now just in the game in Breath of the Wild. I don't think there is a single amiibo that has a special unlock. Oh, hey, star fragment. I'll worry about that never. If I happen to get a star fragment throughout the adventure, cool. If I don't, whatever. Anyway, back to that. The only thing that has a unique drop that is related to Tears of the Kingdom is the Tears of the Kingdom Link amiibo, which has a glider pattern, much like the Bokoblin pattern we just got earlier. So any unique armor that come from amiibo from the previous game does not carry forward to this game. You can find every cameo, I guess, every cameo armor piece that was in Breath of the Wild is now just based in Tears of the Kingdom. That may change when the Tears of the Kingdom Zelda and Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf amiibo release. When they do release, and we know more information about them, I'll just tell you what they drop, because I'm one of those weird people who, unless I plan to use it for a game, if I plan to use it for some kind of benefit, I don't break an amiibo out of its packaging. And lately, unless it's Smash Brothers amiibo, for when I inevitably get around to doing what I'm going to call the final amiibo tournament series, I don't open amiibo anymore. I get them in their box, I put them on the wall. Anyway, now that we're done yapping about amiibo for the last 10 minutes, let's begin our journey into the depths after we find a campfire. Because, just for your guys' sake, I'm going to try and cook. I'm going to attempt to cook some foods that will let us shine like a crazy diamond. Huh. So, what I'm aiming to do here is, I'm going to just cook a couple of these. Like, what I'm doing here is cooking a few things that are very basic and very minimal. Ooh, I got a hit critical. So, the Sundelions, you'll want to hang on to, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to want to hang on to at least one Sundelion. And I think there might be a quest or two where you're going to actually want to hang on to more than that. But hang on to at least one Sundelion for a quest down the line when we come back up to the surface. But cooking Sundelions will give you basically Gloom Heart recovery. Now, because we only have 4 hearts, we don't need to cook all that much. I hit the wrong menu. Because we have 4 hearts, we don't need to cook all that much. So I'm just going to kind of throw in things that are single things, if that makes sense. Like single piece. Like I'm just going to cook a glowing cavefish. A singular glowing cavefish. To give us some glow. It's not a lot of glow, but I'll probably use it mainly for your guys' benefit. Because even though I have rendered out the video so I can kind of see what we're looking at, but I just noticed those on the treasure chest on the right. Oh, I got a critical hit on the first glowfish. I'll be able to see for just fine for the most part underground, just because it is a tiny bit brighter than what you guys are seeing on YouTube. But all of these are basically just to help light up the area a little bit, and you'll see it in action just a little bit. But I'm gonna try and use these just to light up the area slightly, just so you guys can see somewhat better. And I think, unfortunately, that's all I can really do, because there is... Oh, wait, where are those bright caps? I ate all my bright caps, didn't I? Oh, no, here they are. Here, I'll cook a 5er of bright caps just to show that off. Double glow. And let me see. I'm just going to cook a couple more singles of bright caps just to round this out. I believe there is something you can do to, like, make a bright cap better. Oh, that's something else I can show off here. Silent stream, right? Draw out... There's a type of mushroom I can cook that will draw out the properties of, They'll draw out the or there's an herb I can put in, or a mushroom that I can put in that will draw out the properties and make the glow more potent. No, that's just more health. But there's a way to, like, draw out the properties of the glow of something later on. Also, I'm just gonna cook 3 of these, because I've never cooked these, by the way. Dang it, I failed one. Well, that's dubious food. Anyway, I'll get more of these in due time. So I should have cooked it with, like, I should have cooked it with a monster part, or with a frog, or a... Yeah, I cooked it with something. I cooked it with a bug of some kind. That's just like a no stat bonus thing. I guess I just gotta cook it with monster. I don't have monster guts, do I? Huh, I don't have monster guts. All right. Well, Bokoblin Horn it is. Nope, that's not it. Dang it. Well, I tried to cook it to make a potion, but I failed at that. Also, I saw these arrows in here. Those weren't arrows. So, I talked about the one last thing with cook here, and it's probably just going to sit in our inventory and do nothing. I had Horriblin Guts that whole time. I had Bokoblin Guts that whole time. Dang it. Something's going to just sit in our inventory for the longest time without a use is a hardy truffle. If you find hardy truffles, cook one. Just one, by itself, at a time. But it's one mushroom. Isn't it only going to heal like 2 hearts? Truffles are different. Full health recovery plus, depending on how many truffles you put in, or later on big truffles you put in the dish, is more temporary hearts. This is why I said if you see a truffle, if you happen to see a hardy truffle somewhere, get it, hold on to it, and I will show you what to do with cooking. Now I've shown you what to do with the cooking. Cook a singular one of every kind of truffle, and just hold on to it. It is a full health recovery, whether you have 4 hearts or 40 hearts. Anyway, now that I've spent all of this time about on today's video about amiibo and cooking and all these things that you guys probably don't care about, how close is that to a? It's not worth it. Let's not spend any more time. I'll probably get a star fragment when we come back up here, but let's go and explore the depths finally. God, I love that sound. So, ooh, it continues on this at this point. So the depths, as I've said, this place is a little. I'm gonna put on Ultra Hand, even though I think I need Ascend. This place is a little rough, and actually I'm going to warp over here. I had to get the effect jumping down. This place is a little rough, and how I'm doing this now is almost exactly how I handled it when I did my own personal playthrough, in that I came down here right away, and until I hit a very specific portion, aka, it doesn't make sense right now, but right around here on the map, until I hit this specific portion. Even then, I just skirted around it. Until you hit roughly this portion, you can complete the entire underground. And I completed the entire underground. And I just realized there is a bargainer. So let me go towards my lit mark. And then I think I'll go back to that bargainer statue. But this is it. That we are now underground. We live here. So something, I did mention it, but we may hopefully see in action. But yeah, fusing mushrooms. Helium mushrooms are mainly just like a filler substance for vegetable or meat-based dishes in the game. Where all they do is just give you an extra little bit. They give you an extra little bit of HP recovery on top of whatever you're already cooking. But fused to weapons, it gives it a shrine property to them. You know what I mean by I cannot roll my R's. I cannot roll my R's consistently. You know what I mean by shrine property. Rock sledge. Also, be prepared to use sledges like this a lot. Dang, base zonite. I'm going to be trying to find... I'm going to be trying to find little things like this constantly. Poke, 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 and poke. Also, I should use this one more than anything for combat. I can't pick that up. But anyway, bokoblins, or not bokoblins, Stalfos. Stalfos creatures are incredibly common down here in the depths or the gloom area. I'll probably interchange what I say with that just because I'm dumb. But defeating most enemies in the underground here. Also, let me just show this off. I did make all these, so why not show what the glow looks like? Yeah, it's not the best, but it works. Everything that's undead and gloom based. Oops, I'm on a tree. I was like, wait, why am I having problems? Everything that's down here underground in the gloom, when defeated, usually drops zonite with it. And I've already talked about like the detriments of fighting against things in the depths is that they temporarily remove your max health. So fighting things underground is a little bit of a little bit of a problem and a little bit of a gamble. But should you prevail through it, you'll be rewarded nicely over time. Which is kind of why I'm tempted to turn around and go fight that monster camp that's just like directly on our 7 to go get some zonite off them, because they're also guarding a zonite deposit. Apparently, I'm rolling my R so much that it's bleeding into my normal speech patterns. It'll be fine. I'll get over it in 2 weeks. I hate that I was saying, oh yeah, on our 7. It is actually on our 7. And more of the depths is unveiled. So, to the northwest, that's an encampment I can actually want to see if I can stop at first. But there's also that area, well, just over to directly east, which is actually probably where I want to go as well. Like, all of these, also, that'll make more sense due time. But all of these, Okay, that is actually the enemy camp I was looking at. I know I mentioned it before, but I'm going to repeat myself because now we're properly in the underground. Also... Oh, wait. I just remembered. I have to remember to do that. Nope, lost topic. So anyway, enemy camps. Oh, hey, Lizalfos are here. Well, that didn't work how I wanted it to. And now that I'm repositioning my hands, this is why I don't do motion aiming. Oh, hello, you're here. Huh? You cut the tree a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna do a little bit of this. Okay, that worked. Here, you can have it. And let me give you a rock hammer. But yeah, fighting a base camp like this, not... Ooh, yeah, right, Lizalfos, I forgot I fought that. Fighting enemies in base camps like this is... Or in these camps like this is a very good idea just because they will drop a lot of Zonite. There, got rid of it, finally. A lot of these enemies will drop Zonite upon defeat. But, yeah, they drop a lot of Zonite upon defeat, but they're also guarding... Oh, right, okay. Well, we're dropping something. Actually, we don't need to drop anything. Yeah, good talk. But yeah, they're guarding a lot of these Zonite deposits, which I'm going to try my best to get a lot of. But when defeated, a lot of these creatures do drop a lot of Zonite themselves. So, yeah. Ow. I was say my boy is charging up over here. Hello? Just don't do that. There. But yeah, the creatures defeated drop a lot of Zonite upon defeat. Not worth it. They drop a lot of Zonite upon defeat, and they're also guarding a lot of Zonite deposits. I've said that 5 times over. When I'm in the heat of battle, and I'm trying to keep talking, carrying on the conversation, I'm going to repeat myself. That's just gonna happen. I can't... That's just how I speak. I cannot keep a very straight cognitive thought process. But we're going to want to make sure we tackle those camps like that. I'll go back. Don't worry. I'm going to go back there in just a minute. We'll want to make sure we do our best to tell... It's a talus. We're going to make sure we want to do our best to tackle those camps because... yeah, tackling those camps just gets us a lot of rewards. Anyway... But we shall gather the rewards from the camp and look at that talus next time. Everyone, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you then.